Hey guys, welcome back to our Scarlett Johansson tutorial. And in this week, what I did is that I scaled her. So I scaled her face to be like realistic size kind of thing. And as you can see, we don't have any details on her so far. And what I will do next, and what I wanted to be doing this week, is to start showing you guys this really nice new workflow from Texturing.Xyz, and I will be using this for detailing and for making the color textures. And of course the likeness is still not totally there. It's still symmetrical, not much work done on it. So I will also do that. So what I will do is that I will have like my details on her face, and then I will continue sculpting on the primary and secondary forms while I'll have the details on her face to help me better see the likeness. Like I told you guys, you can do this and you can just focus on the primary secondary shapes until the very end, and then you start like introducing the details. So sometimes I do it this way, sometimes I do it the other way, but yeah, I just will start using the Texturing.Xyz stuff, and it's a good chance also to show you guys how to use this workflow. So yeah, so let me start first by like showing you guys this website page from the Texturing.Xyz, and this is the workflow that they use. And I will be basically using the same workflow. The only two things that I will be changing is I will use Wrap 3 software. I will not be using Zwrap. Zwrap is good, at least that it's like less expensive, of course, and you can use it inside Zbrush, and that's the method that they use in this tutorial. The other thing is for projecting the textures. They are using XNormal. I will be using Mari for that. So let's see how it goes, and yeah, let's see how it goes, and I will show you guys how I do it. So you can anytime just like go to this page and see how it works with the Zwrap or XNormal softwares if you want to. And if you want to follow how I do it with Zwrap and Mari, then yeah, by all means, just do whatever method is good for you, whatever softwares that you have available. So yeah, let's start by going to Maya and do this. So here we are in Maya after exporting my second subdivision. So I exported the second subdivision so that I don't have a lot of faceting happening. So there is a little bit of faceting happening here, but that's alright. You can also like decimate the model, and this way you won't have like a lot of faceting happening. So yeah, it's up to you. I don't mind that little faceting happening. I'm gonna after wrapping the model on this base mesh, I will start smoothing and moving it around in ZBrush anyway, so I don't care that much. So yeah, let's start seeing how we do that. So first of all, if I create a plane, and then let me quickly like make it bigger. Can just move it like that. Not sure. Get 90. So supposedly this is gonna be the plane that I will be using for my textures, and then I'm gonna wrap this plane on the portrait and this way we can project the textures that's gonna be assigned to this plane to our model. So what we need to do first is that if I go here to the plane, what you need to do first is that you need to let me show you. You're gonna get this from Texturing.Xyz. So if you go to the full face, you're gonna get the albedo and the raw one. So this is gonna be the albedo, and then you're gonna have the raw one, which has like all the information, like with the shadows and whatnot. So of course it's better to use the clean albedo. I think that's what CL stands for. And of course you're gonna have the displacement, and they already did the job of like making it like the 3 channels that we always use. Like if you remember, guys, from our earlier tutorials, we were building this in Photoshop ourselves, so it is built in already for us, and then we can split it via channels in Mari. And of course you have the utility map. So yeah, what I also did is that I made another image from the albedo in JPEG format, and this is I'm gonna be just using when I am in wrap, because in wrap I can't import the TIFF file format, so that's why I made a JPEG one so that I can use it in wrap. So what you need to do is you need to know the size of these. So let me try to go to details, and then I think view, no, sort by view. I think it should be here. So yeah, I think you just go here and then you click on dimensions, and then it shows you the dimension. And this is good because you can use this, sorry, to go to Maya, because you can use this to get the size that you should have your plane. So what I'm gonna use as a size for my plane here is that I'm gonna use 80.81 in the width, and then 50.89 for my height. So that's what you need to do next. So 80.81, and then we need it to be 50.89, and then in the subdivision, it's becoming huge for now, so let's not worry about it now. We're gonna like scale it later. And for our subdivisions, it says in the tutorial to do it like 100 by 100. I feel like it's not enough. So if, for example, we do it 200 by 200, it's gonna be a lot. Let's see how dense it's gonna be. It's gonna be really dense. I think that's good. Let's do 150 by 150. Okay, yeah, that's good. And then yeah, I think for this one you should keep it as a normalization off, I think. Let's see, because this way that your texture is gonna be like yeah, the normalization is off, so that your texture is exactly the UVs is exactly matching like the texture, so your texture should be landing on it without any problems. You don't have like to adjust the UVs. So let's scale it now, and what I will be doing now is that I'm gonna be scaling it to get it to a size, let's selection highlights so that we see what we are doing. So yeah, that's good, maybe smaller. And then if, for example, I go here, assign a Lambert for this one, and then in this Lambert I can give it a color, so file, and then this one, let's go here, face, and then any one of them, like this one for example, and then open, and then if I press 6 on my keyboard, so now I have it. So what I am trying to do is I'm trying to get the same scale of the face. It doesn't matter to be exactly, you know, but again, if the closer you get it, the easier it's gonna be for you to wrap it. So what I'm doing now is that I'm just trying to like get my plane to be almost like the same dimensions and the same position of the heads. And these are gonna be, let's delete history on them. This is basically gonna be what we are gonna be using for the wrapping process. So we're gonna wrap this plane. Let me show you now the topology. This plane onto this model. So after we have this, let's save that, export this model, and we're gonna call it plane for now, and export this model, and we're gonna call it base mesh. And after exporting them, let's go to wrap 3, and let's see how we're gonna wrap these. Okay. So here we are in wrap 3, and what I have so far in here is the head. I went to Zbrush quickly and I decimated the high resolution. I don't want to have this faceting happening, so I decided to do it quickly, trying to get less problems as possible in the beginning of this work. And then I also loaded the plane that I'm gonna be using. And as you already remember, guys, from the previous video, what you have to do when you're in wrap is just basically just click on tab, sorry, and then in geometry just load geometry, and this node is the node that you use to load your geometry. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna call this one plane, and I'm gonna call this one base. And in my plane, I'm gonna go tab, load image, and this is gonna be the texture that I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna use this texture obviously to see what I'm gonna be wrapping. So yeah, so let's load the texture. Like I told you guys, you need to use a JPEG or a PNG images. That's the only two formats that wrap reads. So that's why I converted my albedo to a JPEG for now. I'm just gonna use it for reference. And now it's loaded, just connected, and voila, you have here the plane that you have with the UVs, and we have the texture, and that's what we are going to be matching now. So what else are we gonna need? So first of all, we're gonna need a select points node, and this one we are gonna use to like select our points where we're gonna be doing the wrapping. And we are going to need a wrapping node, of course. So for the wrapping, remember guys that we should like connect them the same order that you connect the select points must be the same order you collect the wrapping. So let's make sure that, yeah, so this side is going to be our floating side, which is the plane. So our plane should go in here and here. Oops. And our base should go in here and it goes here. And let's go first by making our select points. So let's sync the points. So if you go to the editor and then click sync views, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna be synced. So we're gonna be syncing the views while we are working on the face, but obviously when we start like working on the ears or the side, we don't want to be using the sync views so that we can see the ears here and the ears on the other side. So let's first do the face area while we have syncing happening. And let's do it. So again guys, the order of the points is very, very important. So I'm gonna start by doing that. Like this is gonna be like the corner of the eyes. So I'm gonna use this and let's use this here to here. And let's use this one here. So maybe this one here. And of course, this is gonna be here. You don't have to be anal about that. You don't have to be like making everything exactly the same. But of course, as close as possible is better. And the reason that I'm saying this is that we're gonna take it back again to Zbrush and start working on it more, like making it match better. So something like that. I like also to have like the corners. And let's do the nose. So here and here. Let's do like the sides. This one here. This one here. And again, remember guys that number 19 here should be number 19 here. You know, it should be exactly the same number on both sides. It is very, very important. So let's get something in the middle. Yeah, that's good. 21. That's okay for now. Let's do this here, here, and there. And let's do that. And one other thing that I want to do is that I will add like an extra point on the bottom lips so that my texture doesn't, or the plane doesn't go like in the cavity in between the lips. And actually I'm gonna try this, so I don't know if it's gonna work fine or not. Let's see how it's gonna go. We can always remove points and rewrap later, but it was one of the problems that I had in my first experiment, so that's why I want to try this to see if it will work. So yeah, something like that. And let's have one here, and of course one here. Let's even do the corners, so like one in the corner here and one in the corner there. and maybe here. The other side is very difficult to see. I think it should be around here. Let's forget about these last two. We'll do it later. And then the thing that I was telling you guys about, that we're gonna stop the sync to do the side, but let me first get like the corners of the head itself. So this is gonna be like where the face textures should be ending. And while I'm doing this, I'm paying attention to like the proportions of the points next to each other. Yeah, and let's do the sides, and then I'm gonna get out of the sync mode, and let's do the ears, which is very tricky. So this one is here, this is here. So again, when I'm like adding more points, it's because I just want to keep my textures wrapped as close as possible to the model. Less work in Zbrush for me. So again, every time I'm working, I remind myself, like in the middle of selecting the points, about the numbers. So make sure that the numbers are matching, because sometimes you might just work for minutes or hours, and then you discover that you've been matching the points that doesn't have the same number. So yeah, so actually, while saying this, you can see that the 52 is in the wrong place. Let's move it here. So it's always good to double check. And for example, if I left the 52 like on the head, then I would have the texture of the ears stretching and going to the head, and I don't want that. So let's see like the jaw side. Here is fine. Let's do it here. Let's see how it looks. That's okay. And let's go to the other side. Other ear. So this one here. 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 Move it around, make sure that it's on the ear. Yeah, nice. this one, let's do this, that, let's do this one here. Actually, let's move this to like the outer edge of the ear and then do it here. Yeah, that's alright. And then the jaw, something like that. And I think we are ready to wrap it. So of course, guys, to not bore you to death with me while waiting to do the wrapping, I'm gonna pause here and then do the wrapping. So basically what I will do when I start wrapping is that I'm gonna go just here and then just click on compute. So that's what I will be doing next. So I will do the wrapping and then come back to you guys and show you the first results. So my first try was not good. I don't know if it was a problem with the wrapping itself and it needs to be wrapped again, or because of this really small distance stuff that I've been doing. So let me first try to maybe remove these extra points and try wrapping again and see how it's gonna go. So let's do that here. It's also no need for this, no need for that. And as you can see, guys, even when I'm removing points, I'm removing them in order so that I don't mess up the matching. So that's good, that's good. Right here. Okay. Let's remove the sink and let's see the ears if we can also not exaggerate what we are doing in the ears. We can just do it again in Zbrush like I told you guys. So let's, for example, remove the points that's inside. So what I'm doing is that I'm clicking Control and clicking on the point, and then it removes the point. So that's good here. Let's go to the other side. Let's remove this. Remove this. Maybe remove this also. Yeah, this is okay. So this is okay for now. Let's try to wrap again and see how it's gonna go. So let's see it this time. So yeah, I had a problem, sorry guys, I had to go back again too. So of course I forgot to connect my points to the wrap. That's why it was totally horrible, and I thought it was the problem of the points. But anyways, these extra points were like an overkill. So now I connected my selected points. Let's wrap and I will show you guys the results. See you in a minute. So here it is after the wrapping done. And of course, yeah, the selected points, that's very important to connect that. So let's see without the model. So this is the wrapped the wrapped plane, and of course you can see like the nose is a little bit stretching, and actually I will have to project over it in the future, like in when we are doing like the proper texturing in Mari. I'm gonna have to fix this in both the color and the displacement, but everything else looks really fine. Looks amazing actually. Like you can see, like the forehead is perfect, eyes is perfect, even ears, which is like very tricky. I'm so happy with the results that we have. It's gonna be just a little bit of adjusting. You can also do the adjust the nose also inside Zbrush. Yeah, but I'm very happy with the results so far, and you can see like there is even a little bit of resemblance to Scarlet without even like starting to make the textures look more like her face. So happy with this so far, and let's bring it to Zbrush and let's start adjusting this and see how it's gonna look. Just a quick note, guys, because I know that somebody might not notice this. So in order to export your geometry, you also have to get a node which is called Save Geometry, and then you connect your wrap model with a Save Geometry, and then you click here, and then you get to Scarlet and Assets, and this is, let's call it Plane version 2 wrapped, and then save it. And you have to click on compute current frame also. So yeah, this is the weird part about saving geometry in wrap, is that you have to use a save geom node, and you have to, after telling it where is the directory and the name that you're going to save the obj, you have to click compute current frame. The mesh was successfully saved, and now we can go to Zbrush. We have our bold Scarlet here. Get a geometry like this, and then import, and then I can go here, Plane version 2 wrapped, and then open, and here is our amazing plane. Let's double the faces so we see what's happening. Looks alright. You can see that there is some problems happening. That's what we are going to be like relaxing and smoothing while we are fixing it in Zbrush, like here. And this is very easy, and I think we can also like subdivide it so that we have like more resolution to play around with and bring our textures to be exactly on top of the existing model. Let me hide the hair, the eyes, and let's get out of the solo mode. And as you can see, guys, it's matching really good with our model. Maybe when we subdivide it one more time, it will be matching even better, and we can reproject some parts. But I'm really impressed with the results, especially around the ears. My first try that I posted on Instagram, it didn't give me this good results, especially with the ears. So what we should do next is that we need to see our textures while we are working with this. So for textures, let's import it, and let's get this one. Yeah, we can use this one. And of course, as you know, actually I have one here, but let's imagine that this is what we are gonna be using. Of course, as you know, like in ZBrush, always the UVs are flipped in V. So what you need to do is that you select the texture that you're gonna use, flip it in V, and then you can use it as a texture. So let's get this one, and awesome, we have Scarlet here. And this is something that I always try to do, is that I like to have this kind of materials next to me all the time, and this way I can like use the skin shader so I can see what's happening. I can see the textures better, and also I can use the flat color, which gives me only the texture. And let's do skin shading for now, skin shade, and let's try to fix the areas that needs to be fixed. Let's get out of the solo mode. Another thing that I like to do is to go to transparent, and this way I can see better what's happening. It's a ghost. Actually no, it would be better without the ghost. And what next? We can actually subdivide it. So let me subdivide. Let's first fix or relax the areas that has problems. So like here. Like this one, this relieves the stretching happening here, a little bit here, here, and of course the ears, we're gonna just like fix everything about it. So yeah, this kind of nasty vertices going crazy. This one's here. We're gonna have to fix the lips also. Yeah, let's leave this for now, but we're gonna have to take another look at it. It's here. So let's subdivide our model. Nice. So now we have enough resolution to play around with and make it match our model exactly. So as you can see, like you see what's happening here with the ears. So for this you need to push the plane. That's too strong. I hate when my move brush is on 50. Push it out. Let's try to bring it to match the ears. And this is like very fine tuning, and I like to make my life easy on later stages. That's why I'm like trying to do that. Let's move this higher so I can see like on my model here. What if we have the basic? Yeah, basic is better, basic material, so that I can at least see the shading on my model itself. And anytime I can just go to solo and I can see what's happening with the textures. Yeah, it's good. Still, this is very amazing, guys, how you can just use this and you know that the displacement is gonna be matching your color map. No need for tricks. to make your color map works with your displacement like before. That's the most amazing part about this new method and packages, is that no need again for stuff like cavity, painting the cavity to try to make your color textures work with the displacement, because now you're gonna have displacement that has the same details like your color map. It's very good. And it's worth what we are doing now. Totally worth it. So as you can see, like, I'm bringing my textures and trying to match the geometry as close as possible. And again, like I told you guys, of course later I will like repaint some of these areas, like especially on the ears and on the nose in Mari when we start doing like the real texturing. But for now it's also good to get it as close as possible inside Zbrush. Amazing. Really impressed by the results on the ears. Let's take a look at the lips. What if we go to our higher subdivision that we just made, and let's take a look at the lips and the nose also. The nose, let's actually move it out a little bit, something like that. So I'm trying to relieve the stretch that's happening on the tip of the nose, and moving all of this texture information back to the tip of the nose and making it stretch more on the bottom part of the nose. I hope you understand what I mean. I'm like moving what's happening here to go up here, so we have this information on the tip of the nose and not on the bottom. Let's see how, oops, let's do basic material. Let's see, like, this is the shape of the nose. Let's try to match that. Yeah, something like that. Here too. And when we start to move away from the model, I'm gonna bring it back. And in the end, I'm gonna reproject it again anyways. But yeah, really good results so far. Let's see the lips. It was a little bit tricky. So, see what we have here. Yeah, so I just want to get this line inside like that. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just trying to make this shadow, this dark line, to go really inside the lips, so that I take all this texture information that's happening on the lips here to be projected on the lip itself, the lips itself, which is very important. Another thing that we can do is we can what was it? So we can just get our pure ref file of Scarlet references that we collected, and then we can have it next to us while we are doing this projection and fixing stuff. For example, I can now, after seeing my reference, let me load it. So if I load my Scarlet references, I can see how her lips look like, and I can see like the boundaries of her lips. Like for example, you see here these photos that I have, things like that, and I can have in mind how her lips, like the size of her lips and the outline of her lips should look like. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. So let's choose one, and let's have it on the next to me on the other side. And for example, now I'm seeing that we actually don't need that much lips here. And I think also in the lower part, I'm just like looking on the other screen now, guys, for reference. So I can see her lower lips, and I think that also is too much here, so I can move it up a little bit. And let's see it with the basic material. So yeah, I know that these things might sound to you guys like really small stuff that you might don't want to like really take care of, but believe me, these small details makes huge differences later. At least it's gonna help us before we move into like painting and projecting in Mari, which is for me more hassle and more work than doing it in Zbrush. In Zbrush it's always easier moving stuff around, you know. So let's see now. Yeah, it's better. And let's actually reproject and see how it's gonna look. So make sure that we are on the highest subdivision, and let's project, see how it's gonna be like. That's nice. Now it's like giving us tighter results that we can see better. And you know what, I'll go back, subdivide it one more time, and then project. So this way I will really see what's happening with the details. That's very, very nice. Yeah, that's so good actually. So as you can see guys, now we can see exactly what's happening. And we can move our textures around to make it fit. That's, yeah. So again, it's up to you. You can do more work inside Zbrush. You can do more work inside Mari. See for yourself which is your preferences. For me, I prefer to do it in Zbrush. It's more fun, just moving around and smoothing stuff. But yeah, you can see like how amazing like the ears textures are. Even the eyes looks really nice. Obviously we're gonna have to clean this lashes area. That's not a big deal. Now we have the nose. And again, this is easy. I can just like paint it later inside Mari. Like, but the whole face, this is amazing. And just knowing that you're gonna have like these details in the displacement and it's gonna be matching your color map, this is gonna be awesome. You're gonna have like really nice results because of that. And now the lips look exactly like how I want them to be. They are not like stretching or doing something crazy anymore. Let's see with the flat color. Yeah, that's amazing. So I think that's it, guys. What we are going to do next is that we are going to be sculpting more, breaking the symmetry pattern that we have. I think we only broke the symmetry a little bit in the nose, that's it. So we're gonna be totally sculpting in asymmetrical mode, and we're gonna get the likeness to match even better. We're gonna have this amazing texture projection on our model while we are sculpting, I think. So it will like show us what's happening. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I would use it, maybe not. Maybe I would just like use the displacement textures on a layer while I'm sculpting. Or maybe I can even like use the colors. The colors look really cool. So we will see about that next week. But yeah, now at least I know that the color part, the color textures, if you remember on our Walter portrait, it was like taking really long time. I think we made it like over 4 videos or something like that, just took it a decent color map. So I think for this one we already got it in like 30 minutes, 1 hour, and you have something. And also you get the displacement matching it exactly for free. So really amazing. Thanks again to these amazing new packages from Texturing.Xyz, and let's see you guys next week, and let's start working more on the sculpt itself and starting to use the displacement details that we're gonna get from this So yeah, see you guys next week.